Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Winter Wonder queue. I'm just going to get rid of our brief here. If you like these sort of videos, don't forget there's loads more on a playlist somewhere over there, and like and subscribe is always appreciated. What I need to do is build this out to a minute 30, 2-minute queue. We've got a basis to work with, which I'm quite happy with. As you would have heard in part 1, when we started off, the first few instruments actually sounded like a good introduction on their own. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this out another 2 times, because that's going to get us to 1 minute 30 already. I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so I've copied the parts out another 2 times, as you can see. What I've done is just muted the different instruments to give me a selection that I think works well for the introduction. So keep it nice and simple, I think. Possibly I'm going to add in harps, but they need to do a slightly different tune to what they're doing at the moment, because it's a supporting role when the other instruments are in. So I'm going to have to probably edit that. I've slightly changed the run at the end here. Instead of it going back up to the higher E as it does at the end here, what I've done is got it to go down. So we've got a slight variation. And what I will probably do, might drop that down an octave as well. We'll have a play around. The other thing I'm going to do is, obviously because I've copied it out, these are a bit too long, so these are going to need trimming so they fall back onto the actual start of the bar we want. And if you're trimming, make sure you're quantizing as well, because you don't want this to cut off accidentally. So with the bass and the cello, I'm going to shorten those, but make sure that first note is actually quantized so it doesn't get lost. In fact, it wasn't quantized quite, so it would have been chopped off as I'd shortened it. Okay, I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit and back with you soon. Okay, so that's tidied things up a little bit. What I'm going to do is actually rewrite this melody line in the middle. What I'd like to do is actually add some more notes, and then in the end section I'm going to decide which one to do, or possibly combine the first and the second. The other thing I want to do is avoid this other big edit point at the end of the second section. It works quite well at the end of the first section. So handy edit point, but I think at the end of the second into the third, I want to build a little bit more and keep things going. So I'm going to have to edit these notes at the end so it doesn't sound like a cadence. Okay, see you in a minute. Right, so I've speeded up the rhythm in the melody, so a few extra notes. We've also got this transition at the end. Instead of coming to an end, we build again. And what I've decided to do was introduce some woodwinds as well. As I've spaced things out a little bit more and there's more of a build, I think now I can add an extra level of damage percussion, probably some mids at the end to finish it off. So, see when I've done that. Okay, so to finish this off, I was playing with some damage mid percussion. One of the samples sounded like it had a bit of a snare drum in it, so that's what I opted for. I used the BBC SO snare and just played in a rhythm myself, which I think fits quite nicely. The only other thing I've done is automated some of the Albion One strings so they come in a bit softer in the second section. And that's it for part 2. In part 3, we're going to mix and master everything together. I'll play it for you as a bit of an outro, and a like and subscribe, always appreciated. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.